Welcome back to another edition of the Daily Night. I'm your host, Brian Smith, and as I'm on the road getting ready to see Colin Hurley throw this afternoon at 6 points here in Jacksonville, Florida, wanted to get in a podcast talking a little bit about what's going on with the coaching carousel, Gus Malzahn, how he's still in it, whether he really knows it or not, and the future of college football based on some of the things that are going on with coaches right now as they move forward. First off, we are not done with the carousel. Brian Harsin at Auburn, if you haven't followed it, for your own entertainment, please go to Twitter, Instagram, do a Google search, whatever form you want to use. They are trying to put in language which I think has no chance to hold up in court, mind you, with the powers that be at Auburn saying that if there's any investigation going on with you, you must be present, even though they already let Harsin go with his family on vacation. They put that in while he was already on vacation. Yeah, that's not going to be admissible, and that's going to get thrown out pretty quick, and they're going to have to pay him everything when they fire him. That's what's going to happen long term over months and months of wasting taxpayer dollars. But that's the athletics that we deal with today and the egotistical nonsense at Auburn right now. So to backtrack, A, they shouldn't have fired Malzahn. B, regardless of which person's in tow at Auburn, you're not going to consistently beat Alabama or Georgia. And just by the way, those are the two biggest rivals at Auburn. Why do I bring up so much with Auburn, even though it does connect to Malzahn on a UCF podcast? Because this is everybody. It's just Auburn's a great example. Every fan base and group of administrators seemingly think, you know what? We're going to be the best team in college football this year. There are 130 teams. Only one gets to be number one. And that's the main point of this diatribe. You cannot be number one every year. You're lucky to beat your rival consistently, no matter who you are. Yet these idiots consistently think they can just throw money at it and make it work. It doesn't work that way. College football is built on tradition more than any sport in the world. Location, location, location. That's where the players are. Then there is the state institution in every state. And that's where the anger begins. Auburn is the number 2 team in the state of Alabama, is now, it was, and it will be forever the number 2 team in the state of Alabama. Even the year they win the national title, that's how they are viewed. It is never changing, ever. And that's the same in other states. Indiana is Indiana. Purdue is number 2. They're Purdue. That's the case in Florida. Florida is going to be the team. It's the state institution. UCF fans or Florida State fans or whatever, Florida's always going to have the most fans. It's just the state institution. In Texas, A&M fans are ticked forever. It's still always going to be Texas. That's the way it works. It doesn't mean you can't win, but to fix a problem, you have to admit that you have a problem. That's not happening right now in college football. It's going in the other direction. Some schools like UCF have figured out ways to work around it, and they've done a tremendous job. The administration at UCF is just phenomenal. But at Auburn, it's a dumpster fire. And that's why I'm making fun of them right now. And unfortunately for them, it is quite needed. The only real question is which individuals at Auburn end up getting canned. Not just the head coach, the administration, their board of trustees, whatever group, if you will, of persons are there. The problem is some of the key players aren't actually officials within the hierarchy. They're just boosters. I don't donate unless I get a say. There's not much you can do to fix that either. But as long as the idiot brigade who thinks they can just outpay Alabama, they're not going to beat Alabama with money either, but think they're just going to get ahead of them or Georgia or whatever school. That's why I keep calling them idiots, because they are. It takes a very, very good group of coaches, players, circumstances to bounce the ball the whole 9 yards to surpass legendary coaches. And that's what Saban is. Until he retires, He will beat Auburn 2 out of 3 to 3 out of 4 times. Minimum. Deal with it. To that end, who's the coach that beat him 3 times? That would be UCF's Gus Malzahn. That's right. The same coach that you fired. 1 year into Harsin being there, guess what you're about to do? You're going to buy him out, all of it, despite your stupidity, which you will get countersued for with your dumb language in your new contract for all employees. And you're going to look like a bunch of morons again. That's what it is. Auburn is being embarrassed by the people that run Auburn. Guess who's going to get run off? A bunch of them. Now what do? Who do you hire? Keep hearing you freeze and different people, but why would you want to go there? He's got a good gig at Liberty. He could go to the NFL, or he could wait on another job. Why would you wait on one that is on fire, that is ablaze with kerosene being dumped on it by the moment? You make a better decision than that, buddy. There's going to be another job in a year or two you can take. Take your time. Auburn is not a good pick, not with these buffoons that are currently residing on the plains. As for college football and its future, to wrap this up, people should learn from what Auburn is doing right now as a microcosm. There are a lot of different ways you can go about running your program. One of them is just throw money at it and we're going to beat them. No. It takes a lot of thinking, a lot of courage, and a lot of patience. The last of those 3 is something that Auburn has 0 for, because Saban has been at Alabama for about 15 years, and he's just dominated college football. They can't handle it. That's it. They have no patience for it when their rival wins. And then Georgia won again for the first time in just over 40 years about a month ago, and that was kind of the deal sealer. Now we're really angry. Now we're looking for anything. Trying to do that should be a lesson for anybody that comes into their next circumstance when somebody needs to be fired. If you need to get rid of a coach after 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, okay. After a year, who's really going to pick up the phone that's an agent of a top coach, you freeze or otherwise, when Auburn is calling right now, and do anything other than laugh? They're going to have to take a flyer on somebody. And that person will be put in a no-win situation, expected to beat Saban, no chance, and then he'll get jettisoned as well. The only sad part about this really is that Auburn fans are the ones dragged through the mud. They didn't ask for this crap, but the administration did it. So the people out there that are thinking about firing their coach at another school, think twice. Be careful for which you ask. You might get it. That old saying has been used in sports millions of times. Today's no different, and this podcast is no different because it's still true. If you want to win in college football, you have to pick the right person for the right reasons, stick with them for a consistent amount of time, do not waver, and then if it doesn't work down the road, so be it. That's it. There is no new shortened path. Expecting Harsin to win right away and for everything to go right was stupid. Does he have off-the-field problems? If you watch Twitter, you probably know about him. But that's not why they're getting rid of him. If he went 11-1 last year and went to a major bowl, they'd find a way to keep him. It's about winning. They think they should win and be in the top 5 every year. It's not realistic. Shame on Auburn's administration, and too bad for Auburn's fans. For those of you out there that are supporting another team, do not allow your administration to be so stupid. Let them know, hey, if I'm going to donate, buy tickets, jerseys, whatever it may be, you guys are going to do it right. Otherwise, my money goes out. That's what Auburn fans should do. Talking to a few of them today, their decision on Harsin is going to be a hard line on what they do with their money. Auburn's in a lot of trouble. Hopefully other fans of other fan bases do not have to go down that same road. Everybody have a great day. and I'll talk to you soon.